So, favorite Christmas recipe. I'm gonna say short-term favorite Christmas recipe. Think back to when Pinterest first came online, and remember you had to get an invitation from Pinterest. So one of the first recipes that I found online on Pinterest for Christmas, they called it Christmas crack. And now 8-10 years later, we understand because my boys ask for it every year. And it's so simple. It's 4 ingredients. All you do is make a toffee. So you take 2 sticks of butter and a cup of brown sugar and melt that together, and you boil and boil and boil it. And then you pour that over pretzels that have been lined in a cookie sheet tray lined with foil. So you have your cookie sheet, and then you line out the pretzels, or now they like to use saltines. My boys like the pretzels. And then after you make the toffee, you pour the toffee over it, and then you put it in the oven for the toffee to get all melty, gooey, bubbly. Then you take it out and you pour 2 cups of chocolate chips on it, stick it back in the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes for the chocolate chips to melt. Then you bring it out of the oven, spread the chocolate with a spatula, sprinkle sea salt on it, and then you stick it in the freezer. After a couple hours, you take it out and break it up, and it is the perfect sweet and salty mix. And this year, I've already made 2 batches. One for Tanner, my youngest son, who doesn't have a sweet tooth, but he wanted to share it with all of his roommates. And so the Christmas crack recipe spreads again. I hope you try it, and I hope you enjoy it.
This is my favorite recipe to cook or bake for Christmas because my uncle loves gingerbread cookies, and he's my favorite uncle, so I make them every year for him.
What I love about Christmas is making peppermint chocolate chip cookies with my godmom every year.
I picked my grandma's fudge because she always cooks it at Christmas time, and it's my favorite thing that she does.
My grandma makes mashed potatoes every Christmas, so it makes me think of her.
My recipe was the cinnamon swirl coffee cake, and I love this recipe because me and my mom used to make it all the time for Christmas morning, coffee and cake.
Our Christmas food thing we do would have to be make gumbo for Christmas, just because it's a food we all love.
So my recipe is Atole. It's like a Mexican pudding kind of drink, and it makes me think of Christmas because each year we do it around the cold times, and it's just me and my mom rushing. We're like, let's make Atole because it's good and it makes us happy.
When I think of my favorite Christmas recipe, I think of my grandmother Santar's because it's always good memories of her. Now my mother makes them, and my memories are of her making them with my daughter as a child, and the nuts that go into it and the powdered sugar that go all over the place, and it's just a big happy mess, and it's a great Christmas memory.